Hi guys, this is Jake with Think Free Live Free, and I'm just finishing up the floor. I haven't completely finished the floor. I still had to put the screws in. By the way, I'm using these Deckmate screws, 1 1/4 inch, since I have 3/4 inch plywood and 3/4 inch furring strips. So I have about 1/4 inch to deal with there. Something I wanted to show you is, so I've been pre-drilling these holes, and I had to buy one of these drill bit stoppers, and I have it set at 1 inch. It just screws in on both sides, and then it stops it at whatever depth you'd like. I have that set up on 1 inch. That way I don't drill through the floor. I do not want to drill into the metal floor, so this will stop it at 1 inch, and the screw goes down 1 1/4 inch. I have a total of 1.5 inches to work with, so this is done really well. So the floor is completely done. It's a really nice feeling, and it's really solid. I did not have any issues with any of the screws not going in, and thank God I didn't drill through the floor. Yeah, it's probably about 120 screws in total, about 40 screws per board, so man. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good night. So I'm going to get started on the ceiling. I got these. They're 2 inches wide, they're 1/2 inch thick. They're plywood, they're bendable. I'm gonna be putting those on the ribs here, as you can see, all the way down. And because this has a little bit of an arch to it, I'm using 1/2 inch plywood because it bends better. It will be able to bend into that shape. And then I'll be using liquid nails to glue that onto there. I'll be using these guys, self-drilling lathe screws. So these ribs that I'm currently doing, these ceiling ribs, I'm cutting my pieces at 55.5. So from this side to that side, I'm cutting 55.5. It comes out to about here. And then it goes all the way across to about here. You don't want to go all the way to the edge because you got your side pieces coming in here. Okay, so we got the ribs up. So I used 7 screws on each rib. As you can see, I have my first piece up. Have 1/2 inch plywood screwed to the ceiling. And then I have tongue and groove running across. And then that's nailed in. And I'm also using liquid nails to put some adhesive down. So I'm struggling. This ceiling is something else. Maybe it's easier for some people, but it's not been easy for me. This tongue and groove, I'll show you over here. I was not going to put a 1/2 inch piece up in the ceiling, but I ended up having to do that because these boards kept pulling out of the frame, out of the metal frame. So I had to, while these two were in, slip this in there and screw it in, as you can see there, so that I have that to nail it to. However, it does make this space getting in here a little bit smaller, but you have to do what you have to do. And this board would just not pull in, and I didn't have clamps to be able to put a clamp on this side and pull it in closer. So there's a bit of a gap right there. It's not huge, but it's not perfect, so it sucks a little bit, but yeah. But we have these two up, and I'm continuing. I have to kind of frame it around the fan, which makes it a little bit more challenging too. Whew, man, it's tough. It's like nothing wants to work out with you, you know? So I built my little ledge that this back piece is going to sit on. You can see here. So the ProMaster does not have a rib there. So you have to figure out something in the back here to attach your ceiling pieces to. So I screwed this in here, and I was able to pull this board a little bit so it slants with the roof. And you can see this piece sits on there. This is just a test piece. I'm just trying to test fit this and making sure it's the right height and everything. But it looks pretty good. I had to trim this area out here. So it got 3 there. And then this is working real well. It's going slow. I found a bunch of warped pieces. Like it's really warped. If you stand on this side where it gets flat, you can see how warped that side is. So yeah, that's making it super frustrating, and I might not use those pieces, take them back. Don't want to use those pieces for my puck lights, because the puck lights is the next section, so I have to cut out my holes for the puck lights. That's why this part is going a little bit slower. I'm having to measure where I want my puck lights. I have to cut them out, and then I have to wire the puck lights real quick. So I'm gonna do that first, and then I can continue. I will not be running wire through the ceiling in any case. It's just for the puck lights. So my other wire will go through the walls, and those are still exposed, so I should be good. Guys, it's getting crazy out here. Look, it's flooding. I cut the first hole for one of the puck lights. I'm gonna do 6 puck lights, and then I got an 8-pack. I'm gonna do 2 over the kitchen as well. First hole cut. My puck lights require a 2.5 inch hole. So I had to get this hole saw. By the way, I forgot to tell you, for 10 pieces of tongue and groove pine, they're 12 feet long. They're basically 5.5 inches wide. Was $150. I don't know what's going on with the wood prices at the moment, but it's absolutely ridiculous. It's astronomical. Like, I used to buy a sheet of plywood for $30. Now it's almost $50 for a piece of plywood. So this is like a really bad time to do a van build, because these big box stores are really exploiting people during this time, in my opinion. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. So guys, I just dropped that puck light in there. The instructions say to do a 2.5 inch hole. I'm thinking that 2.25 would have been fine too. But that's what the directions said, so that's what I'm going with. I hope there's not too much play on that hole. So I've thrown those puck lights in there. These are the puck lights. These are actually rated for 12 volt and 24 volt. Because I plan on doing a 24 volt system with converter that converts it down to 12 volts. It's going to have 480 watts on the 12 volt system. It has these springs and they're really hard to push back. Wires are through. They just clip into place, and on these ends I'm gonna put male, female quick connects, so that if something ever happens, I can pull the whole light out through this hole and replace them. So I'm just fishing my wire through. By the way, I am wiring this in parallel, which basically means that black goes to black and red goes to red. However, with puck lights and there being 6, I'll show you. I'm going to use a T connector that basically splices the wire, and then I'm going to use a female and male quick connect, so that if anything ever happens to these lights, I can just pull the light and replace the light. So you can see here I have a red and a black. What's confusing on this side, on the puck light, the black is actually the positive. So the black is the red and the white is the negative. So to wire this in parallel, the positive, which should be a red, is going to the red wire here. But I'll show you how I connect that. I'm going to use male and female quick connects. The brand that I went with is Tycon, 100 pieces. This is male and female connectors. So this is a female connector. Your wire goes in on this side, and then you crimp it down. And then this is your female end. And this is your male connector. So these two will go together like this. So this is the kind of the end of the line. So I'm not using male and female quick connects on this. I'm using these butt connectors. So you connect both your sides and then you crimp it, squeeze it in here, squeeze this side for this, and then you use a lighter to shrink the heat shrink, and it shrinks to the wire like that. So I'm onto my second light, and the second light I'm connecting differently because this light was the end of the line. So this is the second furthest away. This I've connected with a T connector. It will feed with a wire from here from a male connector, if that makes sense. This is positive, and like we already know, the black on these puck lights are positive, so I'm gonna stick this, and see here this male connector, and then that will connect to that. And the same will happen with the negative. It will get one of these T-taps, and then that will connect to the negative, which is the white. And then over here, I ran the wire through here. So this will get a T-tap right here. And then this will feed over here. And the same thing will happen there. This is how it looks. Here's the puck light. Here's the wires coming out of the puck light. So the T-tap goes directly into the red wire, the positive. It's connected with a male connector here. The black, the negative. In this case, it's the white. It's connected with a T-tap there. As you can see there in the blue. That's completely wired now. That's ready to go. And then the wire runs along here and down here where my electrical system is going to be. That will go into a 12 volt fuse box. Hi guys, so I just wanted to show you, I did finish the ceiling last night. I was not able to film that too much. I also kind of figured that I've already shown you most of how to put that up. So I have 6 puck lights, and then you can see the fan is framed out there. I'm measuring out the trim piece. It's quite simple. You go to each corner and you measure from here to the ceiling, and from here to the ceiling, here to the ceiling. You measure all 4 corners because your roof is not entirely even on all sides. That's just how it is in a van or RV. I took my measurements on the trim piece and I drew out my line. I'm going to cut it out now. They advise to leave a 1/2 inch so that it can fit in higher. I measured it out though, so I'm going to leave 1 1/4 inches. Okay guys, so the trim piece is in. It's just a piece of plastic that goes around and just kind of completes the installation. I'm sorry guys, the last few days have been a little bit hectic. They started construction on the roofs. I had to move my van as well. They have most of the parking areas coned off, so it's making it really challenging to work. I cannot use an extension cord at all, so I'm down to using my battery powered equipment. I'm gonna continue and try to do as much as I can, but I am very limited. And I'll try to make the best of it. Thank you guys for watching. Guys, thank you so much for watching this week. It really helps the channel. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and please subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And thank you so much for your time. Bye, you guys.